Well, here we are. First ever Windy City Wind Up podcast. Coming about, what we got, 20 minutes after the Cubs were eliminated by the Mets. Didn't know it'd take the start day, but it kind of just played out this way. So here we are. What's going on?
I don't like to rub it in a lot, but I can't say that it doesn't feel good because it does. But I do commend you on a good season, and I appreciate how into it you were. You definitely stuck with your team. But for me to just sit here and lie and say, "Oh, I feel a little sympathy," I don't. I mean, it was a great season for you guys, but at the end of the day, I'm a Sox fan. I'm not one of those Sox fans who chooses the other side of the town when they start doing good. So it's a good night for me, but I kind of sympathize a little bit. I understand your pain. I understand your pain.
Yeah, it's tough, man. It's tough. You go from one end of the spectrum to the other. Beating the Cardinals, thought the World Series was a lock.
I mean, that's the thing.
It's nuts.
If I were to say, if I was a Cubs fan, I went through this postseason, I would have never thought that a World Series was a lock. I would have taken it one step at a time. Like, okay, we won the wild card. That's great. That's awesome. And then you go on to the DS. Like, okay, we got one game in the DS. That's great. 2 games, and you win the DS. It's like, oh, that's awesome. This season is a total success. I think the season was a total success as soon as you made it to the wild card. For you guys to make it to the league championship series, that's
Like
beyond any expectations.
4 wins away from the World Series. If you would have told me that in the beginning of the year when we first started writing our blog, I think my prediction was they'd be 500.
Right.
And now we're 4 games away from the World Series. Like, yeah, we got fucking smacked, but
dude. I mean, yeah, and that's fine though. That's completely fine because realistically, you were never supposed to be there anyway.
No, but I don't like that approach either because like we were there, so we don't want to just like, oh fuck it, we got killed. Now we weren't supposed to be there.
Well, yeah, I get that. No, you great team, but the way that I'm looking at it is the preseason expectations. Like you look at like the experts, they're usually wrong. All experts are usually wrong about anything.
The Nationals were supposed to walk away with the World Series this year.
Right, exactly. So you look at the experts and you're like, oh, well, they didn't really see anything for the Cubs this year. So you look at those expectations, and it's kind of what you base yourself off of. I'm not saying that you weren't supposed to be there. I'm saying that this team filled with young kids who are supposed to figure each other out, and it just goes to show how they're going to make an impact for years to come.
They definitely got the opportunity to. As I'm sitting right behind my computer is my TV, and the Mets are just spraying champagne all over the visiting locker room at Wrigley. So I'm about to puke. If that makes anything better.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna say that I don't enjoy that. It's a pretty good scene.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet. Definitely better for Cubs, but what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do, man? They weren't supposed to be here. They played well. They ran into a hot team. They didn't play well, and you go home.
Hey, I mean, that's what postseason baseball is all about. You can have the right time.
The Mets are this hot. The pitching is good, and Daniel Murphy just continues to hit bombs. They're going to beat the Blue Jays.
I don't know about that. I wouldn't call a winner right now. I think whatever is going to happen. I think no matter who comes out of the American League, it's going to be a great World Series. See, like we can play the what if game all we want.
Yeah.
But I think no matter what, it's going to be a great World Series. I hate the Royals. I hate the Cubs. Glad they're eliminated. I really wish the Royals would get eliminated just like that, but it's not happening. They're a good team. I think we're in for a really, really good World Series, and a big part of it is because we're bound to see a World Series with two teams that we haven't seen in the playoffs in a long time. The Royals, yeah, they were there last year. But a World Series with two teams that we haven't seen consistently is going to be a really fun series.
I always do that too. Like when the playoffs come around, there's like 4 teams left, like any sport, like basketball, football. I always think like, okay, so it's the Cubs and the Mets, or the Blue Jays or the Royals. One of those teams are going to win the World Series. Like I always think that like that's crazy to think like one of those 4 teams are going to win the World Series and 2 of them are going to play in this World Series, especially like those teams.
Right.
Not like not the Tigers, it's not the Cardinals, it's not the Giants, it's not those teams that are there every year. It's finally someone new.
Yeah, and that's the best part. That's what makes it fun. It's not the same team every year.
Obviously,
I mean, you love a good dynasty if it's on your own side. Like, I don't know, maybe the Blackhawks. That's a dynasty, but like on the other side, it's like, oh, this isn't so fun when the same team keeps winning every year.
Yeah, no. It's fun. As much as fun as it would have been for the Cubs to be in the World Series, it would have just been a miserable World Series for me. Kind of just like this series because I'm just nervous every day. I wake up and I'm nervous. I'm like, great, they're gonna lose. I'm gonna feel sick to my stomach. I'm gonna hate my life. They're out. They had a good season. Gonna come back next year. And now I'm just gonna be nervous all year next year because they're supposed to be like the best team in the league. Just be nervous all next year. But at least I can enjoy this World Series to some extent, I guess.
Yeah, and I mean, if I don't even want to start talking about next year. I don't want to. I really don't want to start talking about it right now. But if you think the Cubs are going to win as many games as they did this year, you're out of your mind.
It's tough. I mean, Vegas is just going to love them, though.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to be the favorites out of Vegas. They're going to be the favorites to win the World Series, I bet, next year.
They'll be up there. I don't think they're going to be the favorites to win the whole thing, but they're going to be up there. And I think if you bet the Cubs to win the World Series in the preseason, you're done.
Yeah, definitely.
Because at this point, you can't expect them to, and they most likely won't. So you're just losing money.
Yeah, and they're the favorites, so even if you hit, you're not going to win any money.
No good odds. You're in the middle. It's like purgatory. It's like
might as well put money on the Sox.
Huh?
Might as well just put money on the Sox.
You might as well. I mean, if they're
not going to have good odds, but hey, they could rattle off a good season like the Cubs did this year, and then you make some money if they win.
You never know. I mean, hey, we have a lot of White Sox talk.
Then I'd really hate my life.
We have a lot of White Sox talk in the future, that's for sure. And I'd love to talk about the White Sox right now, but we need to talk about the Cubs getting eliminated tonight.
Here we go.
And I need to touch on one thing before we touch on anything else. The Cubs fan base. I can't get over how awful they are. Just absolutely terrible. They are so bad. You're down 3-0, and then it occurred before you were down 3-0. Like, Cub fans were unbearable before they were down 3-0, but when they went down 3-0, it's just like, oh, it's over. We're done. Like, oh, what a great season. No, that's not how it works. You need to have hope. You need to just expect the best. You can't just give up on your team when you're down 3-0. That makes no sense. Prime example. When they're rolling, they're rattling off win after win at the end of the regular season. Everybody's on Twitter, everybody's on Facebook, loving the Cubs, loving them. And then they go into the postseason, they do their thing, and then they hit the NLCS, and then everyone's just like silent. Like, why? Because they're losing games? Baseball, you're gonna lose some games. So
it's one of those things. Like, I've been saying this since game 1 when they lost. Ever since they lost the game 1 to the Mets, people have been falling off by the masses. Just game after game, more people. And it doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't make any sense because you. And I mean,
the only thing I can say is that I think the fan base of the Cubs the last 10 years and the Cubs fan base this year are two completely I think the base Cubs fans have been there always. And then this year when they started winning, just like the Hawks, you always pick up those people who are just like, damn, the Cubs are hot. Like, everyone's talking about them in the city. The city's hot. The city's electric. I'm going to get on the bandwagon and start going on. But then once they lose again, they're like, wait a minute, this isn't as fun. Like, we can't go out to the bars and drink after they lose. Like, it's not as fun. The city isn't popping. That's what those people want to do. It's those people who live in Wrigleyville who just go out for like the good time. They don't really care about baseball, and that's fine. Like that's completely fine with me. I understand it. Like I was the same way with hockey. I don't really care, but if the Hawks win, like it's a lot more fun than me. I'll admit that. Like I'm not a hockey fan or a Hawks fan, but if they win, it's more fun. But I'm not going to also be on Twitter like posting Instagrams, posting tweets like I love the Cubbies, hashtag fly the W. Like no, like just say like just say I want the Cubs to win so everyone can be happy and we can go drink or something.
Right. And that's another thing. It's like
I
tweeted out earlier, like I know when to separate my White Sox hat and my baseball hat. Some Cub fans really don't know when to separate their fucking regular hat versus their Cub hat. Like,
no,
you're just not a fan, and it just sucks. Like,
it's annoying to see people like lose faith. It really is.
Yeah, I mean, it's awful. Like,
it's fine. Like, okay, honestly, like I pretty much knew coming in tonight, like we're probably gonna get swept. They're hot. We're demoralized. Everything, but no, I'm not gonna like say on Twitter and be like, "Oh, we lost." I'm like, no, we're gonna win.
Right.
We scored 6 runs. We're down 6-0. I said, "And we're still gonna win." Like, I don't know. Until we're dead.
Why not? Why not come into that game with that approach?
Until we're dead.
Right. But it really does nothing for you to go in and be like, "Oh, well, we're dead. We're loose software. It's over." Yada yada. You go into that game thinking we're gonna win, and then we're gonna fucking win the next game, and then we're gonna win the next game, and then we're gonna win the whole series, and we're gonna go on the World Series. Why not have that mindset?
I was telling everyone that today.
Like, why not? Because if you win, it's like, oh well, we got another game, and if they don't win, it's like, oh well.
I was hoping they did win too, obviously, just so they would win. But then for those people who were on the bandwagon, left the bandwagon, I wanted to see them get back on when they won 4 in a row. Making history. That's why I wanted to laugh. Be like, I told you.
Yeah, it's pathetic. It's absolutely pathetic how people can just jump on and off, on and off. And this is what I'm saying to you. I've said it before. I'll say it again. If the White Sox make the playoffs, I don't want to see everybody who's tweeting about the Cubs right now. I don't want to see them tweeting about the White Sox. I don't want them to, because I want the guys who have been invested for years and years, like myself. I mean, I don't know if you've ever met a bigger White Sox fan. I want those people to be emotionally invested into the series. I don't want people like, oh, well, I'm a Sox fan now. No, you're not. So, sorry.
At least if you like follow them from the beginning, like if you want to get like a baseball kick, you're like, you know what, I'm really gonna watch the Sox, especially after this year, like a bad year. Like, hey, I want to get on the Sox. Like, I'm gonna follow them a lot next year. I'm gonna watch the majority of the games and like actually pay attention. Like, okay, that's fine. Even like, I don't have a huge problem with bandwagon fans starting next year. Like, I know people are gonna be like, oh, I'm a big Cubs fan now, and I know like people are just gonna start being Cubs fans now. But like, at least if they're with them from the beginning of the year.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, I guess I would have like a.
But it's been like this all year though, because I was thinking about it. When the Cubs lost, they got swept by the Phillies in like July 25th, I think, when they got no hit. Everyone was like, "Yep, this is over." Like they're cracking, they're running out of energy, and then they rattle off, whatever they had, 16 in a row or 16 out of 20 or something like that. And everyone was like, "Oh my God, we're gonna do it again." Then they get a little cold at the end of the season. Like, nope, I don't know. And then they win their last 8. It's like, here we go. We beat the Pirates, and now everyone's like, we're winning the World Series.
Yeah, I mean,
there's 2 games, and it's like, yep, cancel post game's over.
Yeah, I mean, everybody just gives up. Everybody hops on as easily as they give up, if that makes any sense. I don't know if I worded that correctly. As easy it is to get on the bandwagon, they're as much ready to just hop right off, no matter what. No matter what.
The same amount of steps to get on the wagon as it is to get off the wagon.
Mm-hmm. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. And I mean, I'm a huge White Sox fan, but I can't disagree with anything the Cubs have done. So, great season, but, I mean, I wouldn't even call it a heartbreaker. It's not a heartbreach. It's not.
It would have been a heartbreaker to lose at 7.
Right, yeah. And you just get swept. That's all right. That's okay. Next year, you pretty much have the same team.
Yeah, it's baseball. You're going to lose games. Move on.
Exactly. So that's fine. I just hope that Robin Ventura figures it out. We're there in October, but highly doubt it. We'll probably be playing until about October 4th when the regular season ends, and then it's over. I mean, oh yeah, and then
What were you gonna say about action on it?
no, what's that?
What were you gonna say to spark a reaction out of me? You said you.
Oh yes. This summer we're talking about before we start recording.
There we go.
Your whole. You probably have an idea. This whole, and it's not even just you. It's not even just you. I think I've seen every single Cub fan, Twitter, Facebook, everything, no matter what, during this entire season and the entire series.
I know where this was going.
Before, and even the wild card, I believe.
I know where this was going.
The strike zone. Come on.
Okay.
Come on. Please hear me out.
Okay, and hear me out too. Hear me out too. You go first. Go ahead.
Listen. So, okay, we can both agree. TBS, Fox One,
shit.
those zones are
garbage.
Horrendous.
I don't even look at them.
Way off. And if you judge, you're like causing your mind off of that, and you're watching all wrong.
Turn off the TV. Go watch.
Yeah.
Tennis. Go watch tennis. You're a clown.
When an umpire steps in to call a game, I don't know if this is how it works. I mean, it's all relative. Like, he sets his zone. Through the first inning, an umpire sets his zone. There is no doubt about that. If he's calling the low strike, that's a strike. And through 9 hitters, if you can't adjust to that, that's your fault. You need to learn what a strike is and what a strike is not through 9 hitters. You need to adjust. And hey, I know that your argument would be like, oh, DeGrom was getting this call and so wasn't getting this call. But for you to say that your potential Cy Young winner, Jake Arrieta, wouldn't get the same call is blasphemy. Blasphemy. He would get the same call if he was pitching in the same game. And you wouldn't recognize it because you have a bias. That's as simple as that. Arrieta would get the same call, shin high, strike, low in the zone if he was pitching.
Well,
but
the strike zone was equally as bad for the Cubs and the Mets. It was bad. There was bad. I understand you have your own zone, but some of those calls were just bad.
But here, now listen. If it's a consistently bad zone, it's still consistent, and that's all you ever ask for an umpire. You want an umpire to be consistent.
I agree with that.
You just want an umpire to be consistent, and that's it. That's it. If he's calling the outside strike all game long, you have no gripe whatsoever.
It's not as easy to adjust as you would think it is.
No, absolutely not.
You've never stepped in the box throwing a guy throwing 80. I've never in the box throwing against a guy 95. I've been in there 88, 89, whatever, 90 a couple times.
Yeah.
You have a 0.2 of a second. And 90% of the games when you're used to that zone being, whatever it is, shoulders to the middle of the thigh, knees, whatever, when you're so used to recognizing those pitches and seeing that and knowing what is a strike and what's not a strike, when you get pitches that are below your knees or outside of what you're used to being your zone, whether it's consistent or not, it's still like it pisses you off as a batter. Like, no, that's not a strike. Like, I'm disciplined enough to know what is a strike and what's not a strike. When you call something that I know is not a strike from my discipline, that's going to piss me off. And Joe Madden said the same thing before the game. He said, he took like a little jab at the umpire. He said, my hitters are disciplined enough to know what's a strike and what's not a strike. And some of those calls were bad, both for us and the Mets. And I just think he had a bad zone. You have a bad game, fine. That was a bad zone.
I've watched plenty of postseason. I can't say that I've missed a postseason game all postseason. And it actually blows my mind how much everybody nationwide is complaining about the umpire strike zone. Blue Jays fans, Royals fans, Cubs fans, Mets fans, even before that. Everybody's riding umpires. And it's just not as simple as that. Like, you don't win a World Series based on an umpire zone. Like, you need to adjust, and it's as simple as that. I understand what you're saying. I completely understand what you're saying. But you can't say that you lost a series based on a strike zone. No. That's just not.
Players can say they're losing a bat, like an umpire. It's a 1-1 count. Umpire calls a strike. Now you're down. Right. Now you're down. I can say you can lose a bat, but no, definitely not a game or a series. Really.
Tulowitzki this postseason has been very, very animated towards the umpires. Very animated.
The thing is, people, especially people who haven't played in the playoffs and fan bases who haven't been in the playoffs, it's so emotional that you just need something to complain about, something to get pissed off about when things aren't going your way.
That's a good point. That's a very good point.
And another thing is with that, players and fan bases again are also becoming very spoiled because of replays on calls and every other call not to strike that they expect the game to be called perfectly all the time. So that's the only thing they can complain about now. They can't complain about an out at first, a double play, like a bobble. Is it a catch or not? So all they have to complain about is a strike zone, and that's what they're complaining about. They don't want to blame their players. They don't want to blame the manager. They want to blame the other players or the umpires, and that's the only way they can blame the umpires. No, really.
That reminds me. I mean, we can review outs and safes, and we can't review strikes and balls. But that did remind me. Let's talk about your boy. Let's talk about Schwarber. Just absolutely terrible. You need to admit it. Kyle Schwarber would make a hell of a DH. One hell of a DH.
Yeah, he'd make a good DH if they brought the DH to the NL.
No, I think if he got traded to an AL team, he could fight for the MVP.
Okay.
Maybe in a couple of years. Not right now. Maybe in a couple of years, he could fight for the MVP, just DH.
All right, tell me a team that you would be traded to. Just give me any team.
You want one team right now?
Yes.
Chicago White Sox.
Okay. I'll take Sale and.
There's that no. As soon as you say Sale, no.
Okay, then that's that. If
all right, hey, Cubs need pitching. Quintana.
Throw him back in and maybe we have a deal.
Okay, Quintana back in Schwarber. I'll take that. And then we get LaRoche.
I saw that. Someone tweeted that today too and said, "I hear rumblings of Quintana for a Schwarber." No.
I haven't heard that, but there's no way.
Someone retweeted it on my time. No.
No, I mean, but back to my point. Schwarber, awful in the outfield, awful as a defender, all around. Unless he's catching, I haven't seen him catch that much. I know his natural position is catcher. He's awful in the field. Awful.
He's out of position. Babe Ruth played right field.
Yeah,
they have Babe Ruth in left field, obviously. Maybe he should pitch, too.
That's fine. Great. Schwarber, awful. Just terrible. He can hit the shit out of the ball. He's awful in the field. I don't care if he outruns the ball and still catches it. Terrible.
Yeah, he looks uncomfortable.
I mean, hey, maybe he'll get better in spring training when he's got a whole off season under his belt, like training the outfield. As of right now, he's terrible.
You know what who my least favorite Cub is now? And I will just hate him probably for the rest of his career.
Oh, God, here we go. Who is it?
Kris Bryant. I'm tired of it.
This is another thing. I was loving it. I was loving it.
I'm just tired. I'm done with him. I'm done with him.
You turned your back on Kris Bryant so quick and so hard.
Then he gets a run to try to bring him back in. It's like, no, dude, I just told you. I'm done with you until you figure out how to, not swing and miss and strike out 3 times a game. You can't just swing. Dude, you can't strike out 3 times a game, take all the swings, and then hit a ball 475 feet. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of you striking out.
For you to compare.
He has no emotion, nothing. He just sits there like an idiot.
For you to compare Kris Bryant to Adam Dunn or Adam LaRoche is totally unfair to every White Sox fan across the nation. Because we've had to deal with it for 5 years. We've had to deal with that 4 spot in our lineup, just striking out
I think I could strike out Chris Bryant because I could probably throw in 75 miles per hour now, which is my fastball, but it's like a speed of a changeup, and he wouldn't hit it. I would not throw him any other pitches that changeup every single time. I would tell him, dude, I'm going to throw a changeup low in the dirt. He would swing.
Okay, but that kind of sounds like a Brady. You throw a Brady a breaking ball in the dirt and he's swinging. But look, listen. That's what you would tell him. That's what you would tell a Brady in his rookie year. Hey, I'm throwing you a breaking ball in the dirt. He's swinging. Second year, he's laying off that pitch. Just give him time. Give him some time. He's young.
I know, and that's what I said. I said, I'm done. I said, screw Chris Bryant. Someone call me when he's not. I'm done. And then once he figures out, once I have to stop watching him take stupid fucking swings and swing at balls in the dirt and having a terrible approach to the plate, I like him.
You're terrible. You're awful, Peter. You're just the worst. You have the worst overreactions ever.
I do.
I've been dealing with this for years. I've been dealing with the worst four-hitter for 5+ years. Gunnar and LaRoche combined, what, they hit like 175? They legit are awful. Chris Bryant, I would take Chris Bryant third base for my team right now. Right now!
I mean, yeah, he's the rookie of the year, future MVP. He's gonna hit like
rookie of the year last year for the AL, Jose Abreu.
Yeah, he's probably gonna hit 500 career home runs, driving a ton, and he's gonna be really good. But I'm just tired of him striking out. I'm tired of the Cubs striking out. Soler strikes out all the time. Schwarber strikes out all the time. I know they're young, but I hate strikeouts.
Well, I think
it's but I needed something to get mad about tonight. Hamill sucks, so it's not even worth getting mad about him.
Hey, you know what? I had some people disagree with me on this. Would you say that the Cubs lost because they depended on the home run too much? There's only one answer. Trust me, I know.
I mean, yes, they depend. I don't know. It's hard to say they depended on the home run.
Why did they beat the Cardinals? Why did they beat the Cardinals?
I mean, they hit home runs.
Why did they lose to the Mets?
They didn't hit the ball at all against the Mets. At all.
But they didn't really hit the ball against the Cardinals. Okay, maybe they hit the ball better against the Cardinals, but they didn't really manufacture any runs. They were just dependent on the long ball. Like they got on and they knocked it over the fence. They got RBIs. They didn't really put together good at bats where they were moving runners over and they're just playing small ball. Actually, that's super human to say because they played small ball in game 1 and game 2, where they were just bunting and they're just like
you're against the Cardinals, yeah.
Cardinals are lost.
They definitely manufactured runs that game, but they had to.
Yeah, but other than that, I seriously think that if they could learn how to be better hitters at the plate, they would do way more better than depending on Kyle Schwarber to come up to the plate every inning and put one on the scoreboard where we glue it down because we're psychopathic.
I don't agree with that. I don't agree that we should put balls on the scoreboard and frame it.
And what is that about? I mean, come on.
I couldn't tell you.
Is that thing going to be there forever?
If it was a walk-off to win the World Series or something, I get it. It was like an inch. Was he the first one? Was he the fifth runner or was Rizzo? He was the sixth.
I think Rizzo tied it up.
Yeah. No, Rizzo. It was tied after Baez hit the home run.
Okay.
Rizzo hit one to put him up, and then Schwarber was the insurance run of Game 4 of the NLCS.
I get it. It was a bomb. It was supposed to be a bomb, but
it was a bomb. But the significance of the ball, someone else is gonna do that. So
it's like the Bartman stuff. Why take that ball and destroy that? But why take the Schwarber ball and glue it?
We should have just taken Bartman and destroyed him instead of the ball.
Well, that's sounds like a typical Cubs fan. I mean, they're death threats all over the place. So
that's terrible. No, that's terrible.
I feel bad for Bartman. I feel so bad for Steve Bartman because
I feel bad for anyone wearing a green turtleneck sweater and headphones to a baseball game. I feel bad.
Well, that's a good point. Very, very good point. You wear a green turtleneck, you're weird. You're very weird.
And like Walkman headphones.
Turtleneck in general, you're weird as hell.
Like, I'm sorry, you're weird.
Yeah, I mean, sorry. I mean, don't wear turtlenecks. Sorry. Like, I'm gonna judge you.
Yeah, if he was wearing like a Cubs jersey and backwards hat, no one would even know his name.
Well, no, you're wrong. You're wrong.
Think about this.
Cubs fans are ridiculous. They would have still pointed out Steve Barton, be like, "Hey, let's murder that guy."
No, think about it.
They don't recognize the 5 people on his left and the 5 people on his right who are reaching for the same damn ball. But they didn't want to kill them. They wanted to kill Steve Barton, who tipped the ball, and Moises Alou kisses on his hands like, "Oh, fuck that guy." No, that's ridiculous. Cubs fans are out of mind.
If Bartman wasn't weird and wasn't wearing his green sweater and whatever headphones, he would have had a jersey on and a nice backwards baseball hat, and he probably would have had 1, if not 2, beers in his hand drinking them. He wouldn't have had a hand to hit the ball. Moises Alou catches it, ground ball. Alex Gonzalez next pitch flips to second base. We're going to the 8th inning. We're gonna win.
Ridiculous.
Yeah. But Bartman's weird, and here we are. All right, I'm done. I'm done.
Moises Alou pisses on his hands. Let's put on Moises Alou and kill him for pissing on his hands. Fuck that guy. Fuck him. For him to get so overreacted about Steve Bartman, I can't even do it. I can't do it. The fact that he got death threats for tipping that ball, unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable.
Oh, one more thing about the Cubs before we go. This could probably spark a long conversation, but I do not want it to at all. I want to say like one thing. You can say one thing. I want to do that. All of the Back to the Future stuff, dude, is so freaking old. That's all they play on ESPN, dude. That's all they show. Like him getting out of his car. They keep showing stuff in the movie. Like I don't care. I don't care.
All right. So I can admit that I've watched all of the Back to the Future movies.
And how the GOAT of the Cubs is named Murphy, and
I will agree with you on that too, but I think it's hilarious.
It's like all this stuff's funny. The Back to the Future stuff's funny. The GOAT's funny, but why do we keep talking about him saying it?
Just the way that they just pound it into the ground where it's not funny anymore. It's like, stop bringing it up. I love Back to the Future. Love it. I went on a binge marathon one night a couple years ago, watched all Back to the Futures. Best movies. Awesome.
Hilarious.
You can't bring them up every single minute of every single day and expect to be like the same thing.
I don't know if I can ever watch it again because it will just piss me off because I've seen it 1,000 times on ESPN today. So. Well,
I think I might watch Back to the Future pretty soon because I like how they predicted the Cubs would win the World Series, and it didn't. That was good.
Yeah, happy Back to the Future Day, too, today.
Yeah, well, I've heard that about 15,000 times. I don't know. Do you think this is going long, or should we? I mean, I could talk more.
Yeah, we can keep going. Why not? We'll get 15 more minutes. We'll take it to a solid hour.
Okay, wow. Pushing
no, hour for like on the clock, like 12 midnight.
Okay. I wanted to bring up the whole Twitter thing. Just baseball Twitter in general brings out the worst in all of us. Yeah. I mean, even me and you get into it, but me and you are different because I don't know. We could just kiss and make up because we're pretty much boyfriend and boyfriend. So
yeah, I'm pretty sure baseball season is basically over now because now the baseball Twitter can stop for the most part.
I mean, all right. I hate to say it because I genuinely want to like the kid, but Steven Katerba, you really need to shut up. You gotta stop. I'm a Sox fan. You're a Sox fan.
It's more.
I was not planning to do this. But dude, you just need to shut up. Like the whole. I can't even begin to describe how unbearable you were. I get it. Like it's good, but it's like grade school arguments. Like sitting at your desk next to the girl who you like. It's like she likes the Cubs, you like the Sox. Like, no, I like the Sox. Oh, you like the Cubs? Cubs suck. You really don't know what you're talking about. Like, you know what you're talking about. You've watched the Sox all year. Just stop, dude. because for you to just discredit the Cubs so much and like ride everybody else, just stop, dude. It's not working. Everybody is not a fan of it. Just stop. We want to like you, but dude, come on, give us a break, please.
There's a lot of dumb tweets out there. Like his just happened to be the dumbest of them all.
Yeah, no, and I'm not trying to single him out. I really don't want him to feel singled out. But dude, like everybody is so stupid. So stupid. I like to think that I know what I'm talking about, and I know that I'm dumb. I own it. Like I know, like, oh, I'll tweet like so and so, like, oh, Flowers shouldn't be batting today, but he probably should be. Like, I don't know. I think I like to think I know more than other people, but I probably don't. I really don't know half of it. So
yeah, no,
I'm just a fan.
Yeah, a dedicated fan.
Yeah, way too dedicated. It's kind of sad.
Good news though, Bears have a bye week this week, so we don't have to worry about that disappointment, right? They have a bye week, right?
Yeah, I mean you can't lose against that bye team. Bye is very, very weak. Yeah, so when you go out on the field versus bye, you're not going to lose.
They haven't lost. They haven't won a game in like forever. They have to be on a longer drive than the Cubs, I would think.
Well, no, they won week 5. They beat the Chiefs by a point.
No. The bye.
B-Y. Oh, bye. Oh no, bye is. I don't think they've won a game in.
Yeah.
I don't know, decades. Bye week is one of the worst teams ever coached. I don't know who their head coach is.
They're definitely a worse franchise than the Cubs. The Cubs have won more recently than bye, I think.
I mean, think about it. Bye week, NFL, in college football, they haven't won a game in
ever.
Centuries. Who is going to coach that team to win? Nobody. I mean, bye week loses.
Yeah, I don't know who can turn around that program. It's a tough thing.
It's very, very, very tough. It's like going up against FCS. It's like, oh, well, let's just try it out and see what we can do. And nothing ever happens. It's rolled.
And baseball tour is over, so now – and baseball season, so right into basketball.
Yeah, we got the World Series. That should be fun.
I like
World
that.
Series.
Yeah.
Are you full for the Mets in the World Series?
I don't know. It's always a debate. Like, do you want to be the team? Do you want to root for the team that beat you, or do you want to root against the team that beat you? I'm always.
Well, do you hate the Mets? I wouldn't hate the Mets.
No, but I think we could have. The thing like that gets me like if the Mets win, thinking like we play the Mets, we could have beat the Mets, we could have beat the Royals or Blue Jays. Like we could.
Well, should have. You didn't beat the Mets, so.
I know, and the Mets haven't beat the Blue Jays or Royals yet, so. And I don't know who I'm rooting for, so.
I mean, I picked a handful of teams before the postseason, so and Blue Jays and Mets are still in, and those are my 2 teams, so I might as well go for the Blue Jays Mets World Series and just leave up the faith.
There you go. I'm ready for basketball to start, though. I'll tell you
that. I can hold off on basketball season for another 2 years. I mean, basketball is fun to watch. I like to watch basketball. Fantasy basketball is like crack to me. I like fantasy basketball. It's just I can't sit down and watch every Bulls game. They suck. They're not gonna go anywhere. Like they're gonna run to the finals and then they're gonna run LeBron and it's over. So
I'm not a big. I like the Bulls. I'm not a huge Bulls fan. Definitely roll with my Lakers. So they're.
What are they gonna do this year? Are they gonna win 10 games?
They might be sneaky okay. They didn't play in the West where every team was an all-star team. They played the East.
Why is the Eastern Conference so weak?
I don't know. They just need to put everything. They changed the rules a little bit for how like they seed in the playoffs, but I don't know.
Well, they did that this year.
Yeah, but it's just like because like if you win your division, you automatically get a top 4 seed. So like even if your record, so like let's say the Bulls, like the Pistons and Pacers, like that division, and the Bucks, the Bulls are like 500, but the rest of the division was terrible. Then the Bulls get like a top 4 seed, even if teams 5, 6, and 7 had better records.
Well, that could be kind of bad, right?
Because you won your division, you get a top 4. I think it was top 4.
Well, that's kind of like baseball with the wild card and stuff.
Yeah, but now it's just if you win your division, if you win your division but have a terrible record and the rest of the East is really good, you could be the 8th seed.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
It's,
I don't know. I don't even know what to say. I mean, we're gonna keep doing this for probably forever. Everybody who's watching, like, we're gonna do this until we're dead. So,
yeah.
I mean, we're gonna talk about basketball a lot, and I'm gonna sound really, really dumb, but I'm gonna make PD miserable. I want the Lakers to win 5 games, if that, and I want the Bulls to lose in the conference finals every single year because that's just what they do. So, I mean, basketball is not really my sport. Fun to watch sometimes. I love college basketball. Give me March Madness every single day. I'll watch it.
College basketball.
I mean,
upset of the century coming October 30th.
Oh, yes. We got the University of St. Francis is about to pull off one of the greatest upsets in the history of basketball.
There was going to be a 30 for 30.
And the 30 for 30 is going to be based around Ryan Peter hitting the buzzer beater to win the game.
Fighting Saints versus Fighting Irish.
How's that going to, like, honestly, what do you feel about that? Like,
it's going to be a great experience.
It's going to be a hell of an experience. But do you think you guys are going to get rolled by, like, 100?
It's going to be a great experience for me and the team.
Yeah, I mean, hey, that'll be fun. I hope you are out there chucking threes from 90 feet out, and I hope Jake's throwing dimes, JoJo's chucking up threes, and just cash money all day long. But I love you guys. You're my favorite basketball team of all time. Probably going to get beat by 345 points.
It's going to be
Go Saints. Go Saints. Go Saints.
It's going to be a great experience for me and our team.
No, I love it. I love the positivity. I love it.
That's it, man.
But hey, when you guys get beat by 494 points, but no, go Saints. Go Saints. I love it. Love it. Love the Saints. Love the Fighting Saints. I hear the fucking football team's doing pretty good too.
Yeah, I think they're like top 15 in the country, maybe.
I know your boy Gene Pierzak's doing pretty goddamn good.
Yeah, he is. Like maybe tied the school record for touchdowns in a year or something.
Come on.
Touchdowns in a game, I know he did for sure. He had like 4 in one game.
Let's go Saints, man. That school's on the ups, man. They're doing big things. As soon as they got Ryan Peter, it was all uphill. I mean, just doing things.
Watch out.
I don't know what else is left in Francis besides a national title and getting bumped up to D1, pretty much.
We'll see you in March Madness. Fill out your brackets.
Yeah, you're going all the way, no doubt about it.
It's gonna be a good year. It's gonna be a good year. Honestly, if you wanna follow along with the inside scoop on St. Francis basketball, this is a podcast you need to listen to.
Yeah, I mean, we do have a player in the podcast, so
you get locker room news and access.
Yeah, breaking news for sure. And I mean, I'm in the stands for pretty much every home game and the select few away games, so I'll be there to give you the analysis on teams.
Periscope a few games, maybe a little live podcast in the game. You know, and the possibilities are endless.
There are very many possibilities for the Windy City Windup. This is just a start, folks. Let us tell you that right now.
It won't all just be baseball. Today was just obviously the Cubs' last hurrah of the year, so I had to give them.
Today was me just swimming in Petey's little tears. They were delicious. They were great.
We're back on just normal everyday life.
So I mean, we could do this tomorrow. I don't know what we could talk about. Just
just day by day, whatever happens.
Day by day.
All right, man.
All right, well, it was good talking to you. I hope you're alive in the morning. I don't want to see you go into deep depression because I know it's a tough season, but
go Lakers.
Yeah, right.
Laker gang. On to the next. All right, man.
Good talking to you, sir.
Peace.